yes, we need to be shrewd, but also as well, I don't think we need to drop our pants at the negotiation table.
Where's this?
And
Wait. No. Let's apologize to the cameraman.
Listen,
you do want that, but if the seller on eBay is trying to jerk you, there's nothing you can do. Exactly. You're gonna have to go for fresh Air Force Ones and it'll work with every. Oh man.
Not even up.
What's going on, people? Welcome to the AFC Agenda. My name is Naber and I am here joined today with Jermaine. What's going on, bro?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. How are you?
I'm all good, bro. And we have making his debut. To be fair, we could have put him on loan to Palace as well, but but he's here with us, the one and only Ed, man. Welcome, man. AFC Agenda, welcome.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Big up, Ed.
Cool. All right, listen, we have to start with the transfer window. That's where we have to start because I kind of feel, I personally think it's been a positive, successful transfer window, taking into consideration the circumstances, but it actually has been, it's been drawn out, isn't it? Arsenal fans saying that we've had a good one. If we haven't, we have to start with the main signing, I think, and Ed's smiling, is Jorginho from Chelsea, signed by Arsenal on deadline day, 10 million plus 2 mil, so 12 mil, 18-month contract. Ed, what are your thoughts on Jorginho?
In isolation, it's not a bad signing. It makes good sense. You know, he's got experience. He's a cool head under pressure. He's been there. He's won a few things in his career. But I just think it's a bit underwhelming, if you look at what we were going for in Caicedo, obviously, we have to address the elephant in the room. You know, we went up to, I think, 70 million. That was a reported bid.
70 mil, yeah.
And yeah, we didn't come away with a player. Understandably, you know, it was like an 11th hour bid to Brighton. They're fighting on a couple fronts themselves. He's an important player for them. So it was imperative for them to keep him. So no hard feelings, obviously. It's business at the end of the day. It's good, though, that, you know, we changed tact and we went to our plan B. And like a lot of Arsenal fans have said, and it's been reported, that Arteta led the charge. You know, it's a player that Arteta has admired for a long time. Yeah. You know, tried to get him when he first joined Arsenal.
He tried to get him in 18 when he was the coach at City,
of course.
In 2020, he tried to get him
when he became Arsenal manager.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good signing. It'll be interesting to see how he plays for us, man. I can understand the doubts in the sense that, you know, most Chelsea to Arsenal transfers haven't gone down that well. You know, we are rivals at the end of the day. Obviously, they've been a lot better than us for 20 years. But usually when we get a former Chelsea player, you know, the old adage, the retirement home, they lose a bit of their spark. Do they want to stay in London? Have they lost the drive to perform at the highest level, that kind of thing? And also just the bad blood between the two clubs, obviously, over the course of many years. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does in the Arsenal shirt and to see if he can, you know, be a key cog in our title charge. So
I think you made a fair point there with, you did say plan B.
Yes.
And it was clearly a plan B. However, it's a plan B of what the coach wanted.
Yes.
Or the manager, really, because as you said, man, you did allude to the fact that he tried to get him for City 2018, again 2020 at Arsenal. And I was watching Jorginho's you know, his first interview on the Arsenal channel. And it was interesting when he said that we tried to go in for him 2020 and he was looking to come. Yeah. But he said the only reason was obviously different circumstances kind of halted that. So it is someone that, you know, Arteta wanted. What are your thoughts, Jermaine? Because obviously looking on your Instagram, you know, it was very, very lukewarm with this signing. Why?
Do you know what it is? It's because it was underwhelming, if I'm honest with you. I think the fact is, we were going for Caicedo, you know, big signing, making a statement, and then we've ended up with the plan B, which was Jorginho, older. We've got someone from Chelsea again, as mentioned by Ed. The signings from Chelsea have not always worked out. So it is a worry in that aspect. One thing I would say is, he's not a replacement for Partey.
Nah, he's an entirely different player, right?
Not even that. He's a replacement for El Nene. and Sambi Lokonga. And for me personally, he's better than both of them.
Yeah, that's not for debate. I believe that as well.
And I think what you said as well. I know we're saying that it's underwhelming, but we needed every Arsenal fan was saying, do you know what? We need to strengthen the squad. We need a backup just in case Partey gets injured. Well, what overwhelming backup?
Yeah.
Like I've never heard that someone saying we need a backup and he has to be really exciting. Wow, I can't wait to see this backup. He's a backup, isn't it?
He was starting in the last few matches for Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's one of their main players. All right, they are in 10th position. But he was one of their starters, you know. He's one of their key players. That's something we got to consider, you know.
Ed, I'm going to come back to you, but you made a very interesting point. You said you can't wait to see him in Arsenal. You'll be interested to see him in Arsenal.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see.
Because his opening interview with Arsenal was very interesting because he did say, they asked him about playing for the club. Obviously, he mentioned that he could have joined in 2020. But what he did say is that in pre-season, he said he played Arsenal first, obviously.
When we wiped them 4-0.
Yeah, 4-0. And he was like... The whole team apparently said that this team is going to do well this season. Serious, And then they asked him again about the game at Stamford Bridge, and he laughed and just said it was really, really, really tough. I kind of personally feel that it was a bit underwhelming if you wanted to go for Caicedo, which we did. However, I think it is a shrewd bit of business. I think everybody was worried when, it was announced that we're going to go for him. I was worried about the length of the contract, how much we're spending on him. 12 mil is chump change. In today's, really, it's 10 mil and then it will rise to 2 mil. So that's literally cover. We could have got somebody on loan, for example. These are like loan fees you're paying for him. The thing is, with him as well, it'll be interesting because he's not pacey, but one thing I will give him is that around him, he is going to come to a team who are flying at the moment. So that confidence around him, the legs around him, the movement, it'll be interesting to see. But again, Partey is the number one. So, I mean, we're probably going to see bit parts of him or maybe the Europa League games. It's not only him, it was actually Trossard who was signed as well. What are your thoughts? We've discussed Trossard before. I think I just discussed him in September or time. What's your thoughts on that?
Again, I can't lie. Very underwhelming as well.
Because
you're not happy now, are you?
No, I'm very happy. Trust me. Happy New Year. No, but in all seriousness, it was underwhelming because again, look who we were going for,
Mudryk.
Yeah. So obviously, when you're looking at a signing like Mudryk, who could potentially be transformational, and he's got age on his side, to come away with Trossard in isolation, again. Good player,
Very
star
good.
performer for Brighton. We understand that, I think he's got
seven league goals,
right. Listen, crashed it on Liverpool. He's done his thing. Crashed it on Spurs last season. So listen, we've got a good player on our hands. But when you could have got Mudryk to come away with Trossard, it just feels a bit flat, right? Now again, it's a plan B, and my issue is to deviate a little bit. My issue is with the way we probably do business. I don't think we're shrewd enough. I think when there's a transfer that's quite difficult to pull off, there isn't that bit of nous. There's not that shrewd operator in Edu, I don't believe. But
I disagree in that element, though. One thing I wanted to say is, I think I wouldn't blame Edu. I would say that we've gone for those top signings. The issue that we've got is that we're not willing to spend that top dollar, like the likes of Chelsea.
But we were gonna go.
I mean, we matched the bid.
Yeah, that's a lot of money
but Mudryk, I think they outpriced us by 5 million.
Yeah, but how much?
No. The issue wasn't any difference in the bid. It was the structured payments. Yeah. So Chelsea's were a bit more realistic, and I think they were going to receive their money quicker.
More realistic sort of targets.
Us. So the targets that we put in. So again, we matched the bid, but obviously the finer details were not to Shakhtar's liking. And listen, fair play to Shakhtar, they have every right to go to whoever they want and who's going to give them what they want, right? But my thing is, again, I want us to be a bit more shrewd, and I honestly want us to land a big fish. I'm not sold on, I don't need like a superstar player, right? But I just want us to be able to, just for once, get our plan A, Plan Bs are good, but after a while, you're going to have to start saying, what's going on here? Why is it every time you go for somebody, you don't land them?
But Ed, before I'm going to go to JR. But when you talk about plan Bs, let's look at the whole squad and why we are top of the league, 5 points clear. Now, Ramsdale is I don't care what anyone says. He's been a phenomenal signing. He's done so well. He wasn't plan A for a lot of Arsenal fans.
No one wanted him.
Let's just be real. Odegaard at that time, there was a time that Odegaard has done well, but there was a time that people were talking about wow. Remember, around that time, Maddison,
we've had some. Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I've been a bit critical on Odegaard in the groups. I thought he was a bit quiet sometimes.
But Maddison was timid. He was 75 mil. I remember quite a lot of Arsenal fans was, why are we gonna go for Odegaard for 30 mil? Why do we go and get Maddison? That was Odegaard.
And also, I think to be fair to Arsenal fans, his loan was good, but we didn't quite see enough. So we were thinking, because sometimes a loan is essentially an audition, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you got to put your best foot forward, and I think he did in parts, but I don't think any Arsenal fans. And listen, it was a long, hard season. It was very difficult. So there was a bit of PTSD with Arsenal fans.
I think there's a lot of that. Yeah.
That is why we gave Odegaard a bit of hard time in some sections of the fan base. But listen, he's undeniable. He's probably going to be our player of the season.
But that's what I'm saying, Ed. So if you've seen a structure of these, because I hear quite a few Arsenal fans saying plan B plays, that's not, but these plan Bs have turned into A pluses. Yeah. So maybe we may have to kind of trust that. I get your point. If you're going in for a player, you want to land him. But in a weird way, and this may come back to haunt me. As you know, I was looking at Mudryk from I really liked him, but sometimes, I mean, the structure of the deal, the way it went, there was a lot of twerking going on online.
That was nasty.
I do look at things like that and nasty. I think, okay, how is this going to work with the dressing room? He's a fantastic player, but with Trossard, what I've seen from this Arsenal and how they've moved in the business is they've gone for Prem proven.
Exactly.
And it has worked, because a lot of people, you're right, were saying, Jesus, Zinchenko, all right, but you've seen the difference. And listen, I saw some moments at the Man City game in the FA Cup. He just reminded me a little bit of Arshavin. He can go left, he can go right, the composure in the box. So I get it. When you're moving for a £90 million player, Mudryk, it does feel a bit flat. But I think we've got a real good still there with Trossard. What is your thoughts on Trossard?
I think he's a top player, to be quite honest. I think, like you said, nail on the head. We've got a Premiership ready player, and we've got a few of those. And we've seen from Zinchenko, from Jesus, that really does matter. One thing I would say is Mudryk, from that little cameo he had against Liverpool, that last 15 minutes or whatever it was, he did look good.
He looked serious.
He's going to be a special player.
But we said the same thing about Pepe. I remember Pepe skinned Van Dijk. Yeah. So hopefully it's more that than it is, him becoming.
We can't be talking about cameos. We just have to see.
I do believe off first look, he does look serious. I think he might be one of those guys where we'll be thinking, what have we missed out on here? But at the end of the day, listen, we didn't sign him.
I think there's a reason that they put in his they wanted to put in his contract about the Ballon d'Or. Like he's a special player. Yeah, but I'm not worried. I'm not worried, because I think that in terms of the process, we're ahead of Chelsea. The players are now starting to understand how Arteta wants us to play. We're seeing that on the pitch. It's working. We're slightly complaining as Arsenal fans about who we've got, but at the end of the day, we're top of the league.
It's first world problems, so it's cut you.
Exactly. It's literally first world problems.
No, I agree.
So I'm very confident in what Arteta and Edu have done. And I think one of the key things that we've talked about consistently today is plan B. They've got a plan. Do you know what I'm saying? You see a lot of teams that are just trying to get a player. Desperate, last minute ditch. I believe that, as you mentioned, Jorginho was plan B. Actually was a plan. It's not like, what should we do, rushing to get someone last minute.
And you're right, because last year we didn't bring anyone else in.
Right.
And this year we brought a backup cover for Partey. Do you know what I mean? We brought a centre back, Kuya, who we will talk about, a left centre back who can obviously be backup for Gabriel.
What's
your thoughts on this one?
I have no thoughts at the moment because he's an unknown quantity. I haven't seen much of him. I've heard that he's an aggressive front-footed defender. He can play out from the back line, which is good. You know, Arteta praises and he loves that. He needs that. That's
the left centre back
linchpin
right
of his
now
system.
are like gold dust. Though.
Yeah, of course.
Like honestly, like.
But with him, I'm not holding his breath. I'm not holding my breath. Sorry.
Wait, pause.
Hey, yo, pause.
Wrong show, bro.
Nasty guys, get your minds out the gutter.
What you say? You don't want to hold his breath? I'm thinking. Let's get back on track, Ed, please. Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath.
Thank God for
my
that.
breath. So with that one, you know, and he's how old is he? He's not the.
I think he's like 21.
Exactly. So with that one, you know, you have to give that one time because.
And one thing I would want to mention is that I think we've kind of filled the gaps that we needed to. We needed someone who could step in for Gabriel. Do you know what I'm saying? We need someone who could play across the front
free,
across front free. We got Trossard, you know. So we needed someone if Partey gets injured. So we got Jorginho. So I like the fact that we've got a plan to what we're doing. We're not just trying to buy someone just to buy someone.
Just for the sake of it.
Yeah, and one thing I want to say as well, I kind of like the fact that last January now, we didn't get someone because we didn't feel pressurized just to fill a space. We waited till we got the player that we wanted, that we needed. I respect that.
Even though it cost us, ultimately?
It did cost us, but look where we are now. Do you know what I'm saying? Look how we're moving forward. He said, if we wait, we get the right player. That was Gabriel Jesus. Look what he's done for us. We got Jorginho. Look what he's done for us, you know? I respect it. I respect what they're doing so far.
I have to second it. At the time, listen,
So were you,
Jermaine.
No. I said calm down.
Jermaine,
calm down.
Jermaine, we've
calm
got the
down. Okay. Is there any footage of this? Is there any proof?
There is.
He said he's got all the receipts, but I've never seen no receipts.
Listen,
I
got all the receipts. But look, at the end of the day, looking back at last season, the thing is, like, I speak to Chelsea fans now, and I'm like, you know, you guys have got to stick with Potter, but a process isn't comfortable. We're just because we're at this stage now, so we're all comfortable. There was a lot that was said. Listen, I've come on record. I thought Arteta wasn't the man. I thought Edu could have been doing more. Listen, that's how I felt at the time.
Do you trust in Edu now?
Yeah, but I'm arguing daily for Edu.
I don't.
Why don't you trust? Why not?
Because I don't think he's a shrewd enough operator. Again, it's specific players that he's gone in for, and he hasn't landed them. And listen, we know football is very difficult, but I just think with that, I think it's a dereliction of duty. Not even to use big words all the time, but I just think go and get those players, man. Because how many times are we gonna plan B it till success?
But the thing is, you've got to take, as I said, you've got to take every transfer on an individual basis and just see what was going on. Vlahovic, you can say we were in for him, no bids. He just wanted to go to Juve. That is just that. So you can, say we should have done this.
Bruno G.
Okay, but did we make any bids though? That's the thing. The thing is, I think sometimes, because we're seeing it in the blogs and the papers, and we're linked with this guy, that might not actually have been the plan. If it was the plan, it didn't happen. Let's move on to the Mudryk deal. 8.5-year deal. I'm not going to go into too deep. Chelsea were relentless. They've just spent 105 million on Enzo Fernandez, who moved to Benfica in July
in the summer,
for, what was it?
15 million euros.
15 million. So this is who you're dealing with. You're going to the bar and you're just dealing with this particular guy that he's just going to outspend you. And this is
fine.
Do you really want to get into transfer sagas
I'm
like
not
that?
looking at us in... what am I going to say? I'm not looking at us like how Chelsea do business. I'm not looking at us in that way. I just want us to be a bit more shrewd. Like, we had a leg up on the Mudryk deal. We were speaking to him first, and he was all set to come to us.
Well, there was a lot of twerking going on,
I think, yes, we need to be shrewd. But also as well, I don't think we need to drop our pants at the negotiation table.
Where's this thing?
Wait.
No. Let's apologise to the cameraman and the viewers.
What camera is on Jermaine? Pan to Jermaine, because that is nasty.
Hold on. Look, I'm going to apologise to the viewers. Firstly, he's talking about holding man breath. and then now you're talking about dropping pants. Let's just get back to the football.
Yeah. Listen.
Are you alright? Guys, are you alright with that? Are you alright with that?
Listen.
That's cool.
Let's get back to the football.
I'm covered by the blood. Yeah.
certain teams will try and hold us to ransom at
That's
that.
a bit better,
because they know that we need that player. We've come in at the last minute to try and get that player for whatever reason. And I kind of think sometimes, you know what? Let's walk away. We don't need to go for that player. We've got another plan. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you in the summer if we need to.
Yeah, no, I like that. We're good. We're going to move on into for the game. However, one thing, Ed, you did make a point that you would like to see us get the targets. I get that. However, the most important thing is what happens on the pitch.
Of course, 100%.
And it's happening on the pitch right now.
Calm down now. I was effing and blinding, smashed up a couple of things in my house. No, I do this, I do that. No, but in all seriousness, and also as well, just another thing, I think as well, we like to get involved in sagas. I believe sometimes we're not going to land. So with the Mudryk thing, we got to the 11th hour, and for it to end the way it ended, that makes us look a bit dodgy.
But that does go to show, though, Ed, that we're talking about transfer sagas with Mudryk and then obviously the latest with Caicedo. But we've come away with Trossard and we've come away with Jorginho. Now, I'm not saying...
Which where I give them credit, but...
Yeah, listen, so they had a...
It was touch and go, you know, with the Jorginho thing. I believe we were tracking him, but we were lucky because we had, 2 days left of the window. That could have been Vlahovic part 2, you know.
But
I don't know. We may have been speaking about in the background.
I hope so.
But Ed, like you say, you want from Edu, get the deal done. He got the deal done,
man. Yeah,
he got the deal done.
But for Plan A, though, you know. Like, listen, you don't like trainers, yeah? We like trainers. Remember the analogy?
Yeah. But sometimes the B-side is good.
We don't want Air Force Ones all the time, man.
But sometimes the B-side is good.
I love an Air Force One.
Sometimes the remix is good.
I love an Air Force One. It's one of my favourite trainers. But sometimes you want, you know...
I get it.
The real one, like the Travis Scott Lowe's or something. Do you know what I mean? You need something.
You do want that. You know? But if the seller on eBay is trying to jerk you, there's nothing you can do. Exactly. You're going to have to go for fresh Air Force Ones and it'll work with every... Oh, man.
Not even a pause, big man. He's on a mad one.
Right, listen. I'm gonna apologize. Listen, I'm just
trying to panzer him. Yeah,
I'm gonna apologize on that one. Right, listen. Let's get back on track because we've been talking about. Thank God the January transfer window is over, and let's just be real because we're moaning. That's how sport we are. There's a lot of clubs, Liverpool. A lot of fans say we haven't even strengthened. It could be worse, but we're back to business, and I kind of feel that this weekend is a pivotal weekend for me. I know it's early and people said there's 10 games to go. However, I think there could be a lot of movement this weekend and we go away to Everton. Okay, they've just hired Sean Dyche as their new manager.
Stone cold.
Jermaine, what are your thoughts on this game?
Well, from now, Everton are in a relegation battle, they've just lost their manager as well. They're going to want to jump back from, they don't want to build us some momentum because of the fact that they've lost Lampard. It's away from home, so it's always going to be difficult. They want to show what they can do. But you know what? I think we're going to start the game early. I think we were holding back in that FA Cup match against Man City. And I think you're going to see the real Arsenal this week. And I'm confident we're going to get the result, to be quite honest. I think we can go there and get the result. If we win this... Obviously, we're 5 points ahead in the table right now.
No, it'll go to 8.
Yeah, and the game in hand as well. We'll go to 8. And I think Tottenham potentially can do something at home to Man City as well.
Listen, look.
Never trust in Tottenham.
I'm not trusting them, but they could help us.
Listen. I've said this before. I'm going to look into the camera. I love speaking to Spurs fans. After we did the double over them, I've called a lot of my Spurs fans. You work for us now, innit? No, you work for us. So your job now, we've done the double over you. Your job is to make sure that our rivals, you pick points. Because you're in a very sticky situation, Spurs. And that's why I feel it could be pivotal this weekend. Because if we do get the win, I believe we will get the win. But for Spurs, it's a tricky situation because Man United are 3 points clear of them with a game in hand. So they really want to make top 4. So you can't be getting further behind Man United. So you're going to have to look to win that game. But if you win that game, then obviously you're going to be doing us a favour. But as I said, after the season, you work for us. So you know what the assignment is, innit? And just get on with it. But let's get back to being professional and balanced. Ed, what do you think about the game on there?
It's a tough game. We have to.
What, Everton?
Yes. Listen, our last 4 games, drawn 3, lost 1. So it's not good. It's not good.
I think it's a different game now and a different Arsenal.
Yes, we are serious. You know, we're no mugs. And the thing I like about our team now is we can play a myriad of ways. Right? If it's a physical game, we can have a rock now. You know, if it's a passing game, we're one of the best in the country. So we can kill you any which way, wherever you want. Come, we can do it. Right? We do have to respect them though. Like I said, Goodison hasn't been a happy hunting ground for us. Last season, I can't lie, that was one of the worst performances.
Yeah, that was a bad performance.
Bad day at the office for us. Right? So we need to avenge it. And another thing I like about this team this year, we've avenged all our pagans. Everyone that has slapped us.
Ed, I was just about to say that from last season, we went away to Brentford at the beginning. We lost. We've gone back there. We've put them away 3-0.
Yes.
And I've seen, and then, you know, a couple of weeks later, they put Man United away 4-0. So it just goes to show it's a tough place.
Yeah,
Spurs got a draw out there. We've done that. Again, who was it that we've gone to White Hart Lane? That's the saddest I've seen.
We control these matches as well.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, from start to finish.
With Everton,
You know
I
what I mean?
think watching the documentary, Everton away and Newcastle away,
Yes.
I've never seen Arteta more vexed.
What
That
he-
Everton one, to go and lose that late.
Yeah.
So I'm with Jermaine on this one, that I think is going to be convincing
It
performance.
It has to be, man. There's a lot on the line, man.
And I have a sneaky feeling that Trossard gets his first goal this weekend.
I can see that happening.
I
hope so. Amen.
Is it? Can you see?
Amen.
Yeah,
I can see that happening.
yeah. I could just see him, you know. But what I'm saying, if we win this one, then 8 points clear, and then it goes to Spurs to kind of see what they're going to do.
Can I just say one thing?
Of course you can, Jermaine, as long as it's not anything more sexual.
No, it's not wild. It's not wild. The only thing I would say is we got to be careful. We saw against Southampton, the match that we drew.
Yeah.
When teams are fighting for their life at the bottom of the league,
It's difficult, man.
they're difficult to break down. Yeah.
But Jermaine, I've got a little caveat here.
Talk to me.
They are difficult to break down. And at that time, you know, we had brought on Nketiah. But now, Nketiah is flying. However, Trossard, honestly, Trossard is got that composure. I've always rated him, and I'm seeing it now. With Martinelli, can you imagine? You got Martinelli, you're gonna have Nketiah,
Does he
you're gonna
start for you?
have Saka. He doesn't start.
Okay.
But that's the problem because
Martinelli doesn't.
No,
No,
Martinelli
talk about
starts.
Trossard,
No,
talk about
what
Trossard.
I'm saying, it'll be the front three is normal.
Okay.
So you can imagine for the Everton centre, but they're down in the bottom of the league. You have to deal with them three. Obviously, we don't even have to talk about Saka, what's going to go on. But you've got Nketiah, Saka, Martinelli. When things get to 60 minutes now, they're probably thinking, okay, maybe, and then you're going to bring on Trossard. Bro, it's problems.
It's peak, yeah.
And the reason why I think it's going to be problems for the Premier League is because we haven't mentioned somebody that's back on the grass. That's
Jeez.
Gabriel Jesus. You're going to add that
Your
to
guy.
what you're seeing now. But bro,
Madness.
it's for opposition team. I'm not comfortable with that. Would you be comfortable if that team was coming to the Emirates?
With the jinky majinky that it does.
Bro,
Yeah,
you've
it's
got-
chaos. It's chaos, man.
So, yeah, Ed, why are you is it the Sean Dyche effect or is it Everton? Why are you not kind of as confident as me and Jermaine on this?
Because, listen, new manager bounce, the fact that we haven't won in 4 trips to Goodison.
We didn't win at White Hart Lane for.
No, it's true, you're right. And it is Sean Dyche as well, because of his Burnley teams, they gave us some problems as well. So I think he's got a little bit of hate in his heart
I think
for us.
under Wenger they gave us problems.
Yeah.
With Arteta, he's had a good record, isn't it? Yeah.
Listen,
I don't
we
think-
dropped a couple points to Burnley.
No, but remember when we went there, I think one of Dyche's final season, it was Odegaard free kick 1-0.
Played poor though, but yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but yeah. Arteta doesn't not with Burnley, but come on, man, have some confidence. You've just seen United being put to the sword.
Of course,
What
listen.
more do you want, bro?
I will never bet against my boys. It's just a bit of wariness. I just want us to do a job. Also, 12:30 kickoff, innit? So it's early
been good
kickoff.
to us.
Yeah.
It has been good to us this season, but you know, it's there's a little bit of a hoodoo for every team, to be fair. So I want us to do our job, remain professional, get in 2 goals, clean sheet.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Shevchenko will not let us lose that match. This he's a warrior. He's a warrior. He's an animal.
He's winking at me because you know he's championed Zinchenko.
He's a class player, man.
And I gave him a bit of hell early in the
No,
season.
you never gave him hell.
I just said meh, you know,
You
like
said
when
meh.
a couple signings we made, I was thinking,
Look, you know what?
Bad boy. I knew from the start he's going to be a top player.
Yeah, no. the thing is, what I'm very happy about, even at the watching the Man United game, we haven't forgot about that United fans. But watching that game is, I remember when Arteta first came out, and I wanted to reject everything that he was pulling through. And he was talking 100%. About this leadership group. Maybe I was suffering so much. I was in a dark place.
We were in pain, man.
19 years, bro.
19
no,
years,
but I was in
and then in that 19 years, we've steadily declined. You know,
I was just in a bad place, you know, and. And he was talking about this leadership group. So he's made Odegaard captain. But then when you see in the picture, you're seeing Xhaka talking.
Yeah.
But Zinchenko now.
Jorginho now.
Yeah, because Zinchenko is... Listen,
he's probably the most vocal leader we've got, right? Him and Xhaka, right?
I think, him and Xhaka. But he must have said after the Man United game, they spoke to him post-match and they asked him about, you know, how things are going. And I don't want to misquote him, but he did say when he joined Arsenal in the summer, he did say, all right, guys, let's stop talking about top four. We've got to start talking about the league. And certain man were laughing, giggling.
Yeah.
I wonder who it was, but look,
who giggled, bro?
I'm just saying, I wonder who it was that was giggling.
Yeah.
But he was just like, okay, and that's what he said to them. Now you guys ain't laughing, and that's what I'm saying. If you've played football, you love football for so long, you understand mentality is everything.
Yes.
And this guy, after he put the cross in, Nketiah scored. He didn't even run to Nketiah. He went straight to the fans. This is the sort of passion that you need.
I love it.
No. One thing I would say, it is an Arsenal podcast, but I want to ask you guys, listen, Manchester City, probably one of the best teams I've ever seen in the Premier League. I personally feel Pep is the best. You know how I feel. I think he's the best ever for me. So who is chasing us right now? Honestly, like, they are one of the best teams, as I've said, that I have seen. However, Cancelo, I don't think this helps them.
It doesn't, but to be fair to Pep and City fans and City as a whole, he hasn't been at his best this season, right?
Who hasn't been at? Oh, Cancelo.
So
but they haven't replaced him though.
They haven't replaced him, but they got Rico Lewis. Ake can play there. Listen,
Bro,
come on. If we went for a transfer window,
of course,
transfer window, and I said we're after Ake for left back or Cancelo, that would be your plan D. You would, if I say, oh yeah, Ake, you would be, if you're vexed,
my head will be on Mars.
If you're vexed with Trossard,
absolutely skied. What?
If I drop Ake, and Ake's a good player.
Ake's a good player, so there's no slander on his name, right? But yeah, I wouldn't be impressed, 100%. But what I would say is, Pep's been there before, man.
Of course, yes.
And if there's one team that can lick off 10 straight, 11 straight, it's them.
Yep.
So
they didn't look good against us, though.
They didn't, and it backfired a little bit for them because, you know, they tried to play pretty much their first team, save a few guys, right? And I know what Pep wanted to do. He wanted to lay down a marker, crash it on us and say, listen, this is what's going to come.
Yeah.
And it didn't quite work. So he's probably thinking, that didn't quite work, you know, and then you've risked KDB, you've risked Haaland for what? You've got through to the next round, but I'll tell you this now, ask anybody, I didn't even want us to win that game. Exactly. I wanted us out of the competition because I think we've got bigger fish to fry.
But can I just say, if you talk to rival fans, they'll say, no, you wanted to win that. You wanted the
Don't mind them, of course. I've seen a couple man talking nonsense.
Fans were getting happy.
Listen, look, listen, personally, I disagree with you two. I
disagree.
Because I don't like to lose any game.
100%.
I was just worried. The only reason I was worried about that game is not the fact that I wanted us out of that competition. It was just at that time the squad depth, and I was just thinking about Partey.
What happened?
Especially when he
of course the rib.
Exactly.
But that's what I was worried about. But if you're asking me right now, I prioritise the league is the number one, and 2 is the FA Cup for me. A lot of people
over Europa.
But why are you gonna? What is the reason why we wanted to win Europa before
to get into the Champions League? Right,
I agree.
Right, but for me, as Arsenal, the tradition of Arsenal, we are record holders of the FA Cup. But me, I'll take a domestic double over that. Personally, I would.
I hear you.
FA Cup, bro.
What?
I'm saying that we haven't won something in Europe for so long. We need
True.
Don't you want to concentrate on the league first?
No, of course the league. But when you talk to rival fans, they're always talking about
that's the one thing that they can hold over us.
One thing.
And it's sad.
Do you hold that with Sevilla? Okay, you know what's so funny about that Europa League thing is that everyone's talking about we haven't won anything since 1994 against against Parma in the European Cup Winners' Cup. When Emery was here, you lot were pamming him, and he's won 5 Europa League. So you don't rate it.
Pan again to him.
Wow, what did I say? What did I?
Pamming who? Yeah. Pan to his face. Zoom in on his face.
Bare apologies today.
This is nasty work.
Do you know what? You know what's so funny though is this never used to happen before. So you're the common denominator here.
Don't blame me. Don't blame me.
Have we ever had any sexual? Anyway, let's get
ask you one more question.
Yeah, go on. Of course you can, bro.
All right. If it was out of winning the league and FA Cup and the league and Europa, what would you say would mark a better season for Arsenal?
Personally, league and FA Cup.
So you're bugging. Sorry, bro. That is nuts.
Why?
We're the record holders, yeah?
So what does that mean?
If I never see an FA Cup win again, and this might be cocky.
Are you?
No, I don't mind, bro.
You know what? Don't say it. Don't say it.
Listen, it's 14 times, and then
don't say it.
I haven't seen us win anything in Europe since I was 5.
Yeah,
1994.
No, bro.
Listen, we're Arsenal. You know, like we should be winning things in Europe.
Yes,
no one's got a divine right, but listen, Chelsea have got 2. They've got 2 Champions Leagues and 2 Europa Leagues. Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Listen, Man United have got 3 Champions Leagues, and I think they've got 2 Europa Leagues, right? Listen, Liverpool are the biggest export
in terms of European trophies they have.
We need a European trophy.
We need a trophy, man. And the funny thing is, sorry guys, I don't particularly want the Europa League.
So you want to go away to these games now? We're going for a league. Listen,
the league in Europa trumps league and FA Cup, 100%, man.
We're going to go for the league. The squad, obviously, we've had our so-called plan Bs. The squad is fairly thin, yeah? We've got one of the best Premier League teams in history chasing us. And you want to be travelling on a Thursday night all the way to be playing, plus coming back to be playing on a Sunday.
I was looking
rather than me, I don't mind a one-off FA Cup tie, I feel you, but that's a bit easier for me. You man want to be travelling all over Europe and coming back.
One thing I'd say now is with the signings that we've made, I personally think for a plan B team, we've got a good enough team to get us through to the final rounds of Europa, and then we can put the bad boys in to win the Europa.
Depending on who we face.
This is what I'm saying.
We could mess around and face Barcelona in the next round or whatever. It could get techie. I understand what you're saying.
This is what I'm saying. You can go there, you can get Barcelona, and then you're risking that on that Thursday night to play that. Bro, just say you get to the final.
There's new beginnings. I'm not even worried about FA Cup now. This is a new.
I'm not. Listen, the priority is the league. The question is, as a bonus, what we want. But listen, a lot of fans are going to be listening and thinking these guys are gassed, and it's fair enough. Tell us what you think. But obviously, the league is what we want to go for, or lifting the trophy. But do you know what's so interesting is at the beginning of the season, top 4
was the aim.
Exactly.
Was the aim.
Exactly.
To be fair, it still is.
And there's certain teams that are praying to get into top 4. Like, I'm not mentioning any names, so to be fair, it has been a successful season, but we want to see it through.
So far.
Amen.
Yeah.
Listen.
So far it has. All right, listen guys, that was not the SCX agenda, that was actually the AFC agenda. I know, I apologize for the youngsters watching it. There's a few words your mummy and daddy can explain to you what they mean. I apologize for Ed. We weren't doing this before. Him, bro. He said he's gonna hold man's breath and he's gonna. But anyway,
what did you want to do to Emery? Listen, you're dodgy. You're a deviant. That is nasty work.
Anyway, listen, this is AFC agenda. You know what I mean? Make sure that you, as I said, subscribe, like, comment. We're ready for that.